What's good? It's Wood. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. We have Mikaela Mayer, 17 wins and 0 losses, taking on Alycia Baumgardner, 11 wins and 1 loss. In this fight, Mikaela Mayer is going to be defending her WBO and IBF titles, super featherweight titles, 130, and Alycia Baumgardner is going to be defending her WBC and IBO 130-pound titles. So this is a huge deal in the division. It's a huge deal for women's boxing, boxing in general. It's just an extremely important fight. And this is going to be taking place on the Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall undercard on October 15th at the O2 Arena in London, England. This fight was originally scheduled for September 10th, but with the passing of the Queen of England, the entire event was postponed. So here we've got the scheduled date, and with that, you always wonder, well, who's going to struggle more with having to cut weight again to try to make the 130-pound limit. And that's going to be one of those X factors where it's going to be difficult to kind of guess who might be struggling with weight more, even though it was Alycia Baumgardner who on social media was basically telling Mikaela Mayer, have fun trying to make weight again. And then Mikaela Mayer had a pretty savage comeback to that tweet as well. But, this fight has involved a lot of, just kind of personal attacks, and the hype surrounding this fight has made it that much more of an attraction. But truly, I'm interested in this fight because of the actual fight styles. Like, this is very interesting. You've got the more experienced, deeper amateur pedigree Mikaela Mayer, who's got more of the technical advantages here and has like a height advantage. Whereas you have Alycia Baumgardner, doesn't have the same experience as Mikaela Mayer, but she just shows tremendous athleticism, a lot of explosion, speed, punching power, and it's kind of adopted a bit of a Roy Jones style of fighting where, you're kind of dropping the lead hand and you're kind of doing a lot of feints to try to kind of pick the person off with 1 or maybe 2 shots at a time, kind of relying on your reflexes and, your hand speed advantage and your upper body torso speed advantage, and looking for opportunities to catch the opponent with clean shots that they just don't see coming. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And Mikaela Mayer is a betting favorite in this fight. In fact, certain bookmakers have her almost like a 3-1 favorite, making Alycia Baumgardner more like a 2-1 underdog, which, I guess that's a pretty reasonable betting line, because although Alycia Baumgardner has been showing a lot of improvement in the past couple years, most notably with her stunning 4th round knockout of Terri Harper, where she basically hit Harper coming in the side of the head with a straight right, to where Harper took like one big awkward step and then was just kind of stuck standing up, where she was kind of out on her feet and the ref had to jump in to save her, even though she took one more left hook that was totally unguarded. So Alycia Baumgardner, she's one of these rare female fighters where you look at her 11 wins. She's 11 and she does have that 1 loss to Christina Leonardito, and that was back in 2018. But out of Baumgardner's 11 wins, 7 have come via knockout. That's pretty rare. That's almost like how Savannah Marshall against, Claressa Shields. Savannah Marshall is one of these, outliers when it comes to knockout ability. Whereas Mikaela Mayer, out of her 17 wins, 5 have come via knockout or stoppage. So Alycia Baumgardner, is known to have the explosion and the punching power advantage. And, she might even have a hand speed advantage, but I feel like so much of this fight is going to be, predicated on, when you look at the female fights, you can't help but kind of handicap these a little bit differently, because we're dealing with 10 2-minute rounds rather than 12 3-minute rounds. So I think that this is going to actually come down to volume. And if you look at Mikaela Mayer 2 fights ago, because in her last fight, she fought Jennifer Hahn, who's a lot more of a mover. She moves like laterally left, and then she'll throw a couple punches, then move to the right, throw a couple punches. So she made Mikaela Mayer kind of hunt her down. Whereas in Mikaela Mayer's previous fight, this is now 2 fights ago, against Mikaela Mayer. Mayer just comes forward. She just comes and she throws a ton of volume, hard punches, and she basically made Mikaela Mayer stand in the pocket and just trade for basically the entire 20 minutes. Like, this was pretty much a head-to-head. Let's both let our bullets fly and see where it lands us. And, you know, Mayer won about 3 out of the first 4 rounds against Mikaela Mayer. So Mayer had some early round success, but Mikaela Mayer from like the 5th round on was basically winning, like, because she was landing like with both hands to the body. That's one thing Mikaela Mayer likes to do. She's got a nice jab, she's got a nice right hand, she's got a nice left hook. I mean, she's extremely well coached. Al Mitchell, the famed boxing coach who, you know, coached the U.S. Olympic team when Floyd Mayweather was on the team in '96. David Reid in that class was the only American to win gold. Antonio Tarver, I believe, might have been in that same Olympic class. But yeah, Al Mitchell has been Mikaela Mayer's, you know, professional trainer. So she's got all the tools, but as nice as she is with the jab, the two, you know, the right hand straight and then the left hand hook, she's also good at kind of digging to the body with nice shots with both hands. And you saw sometimes when Mayer started landing her really nice left hand hook to Mikaela Mayer would, you know, answer and respond with punches to the body that kind of stopped Mayer in her tracks and backed her up a bit and allowed Mikaela Mayer to reassert control of the round. So basically from rounds 5 on, she won on the scorecard. So she was able to win like a 8 rounds to 2, 7 rounds to 3 type of fight against Mikaela Mayer. But that was kind of like a telltale of what style Mikaela Mayer might struggle with, even though she did pull it off, and she pulled it off pretty demonstratively, I must say. But I feel like Alycia Baumgardner, she's not one of those head over heels stalkers. Like, Mayer is a lot more Derek Chisora, whereas, again, Baumgardner, you know, shows flashes of like Roy Jones, at least style-wise. Jennifer Hahn, she's a lot more, you know, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri. She just moves and moves and punches, sticks and moves. I think Alycia Baumgardner is more Jennifer Hahn than she is Mayer. But I feel like for Baumgardner to win this fight, she's going to have to let her punches go, or else she's just going to be relying on catching Mikaela Mayer with the right punch, so to speak. Because it's rare that you find Baumgardner not dictating the terms of the exchange, whereas again Mikaela Mayer brought the fight to Mayer, so Mayer was just dug in and obliging to that phone booth style fight. Baumgardner, I don't even think is going to try to get that out of Mikaela Mayer. So Mikaela Mayer, I think, is actually going to be the one coming forward a bit, throwing more volume, throwing the 1-2s, and basically just keeping the stick out there. Like, I think that Al Mitchell is going to instruct her to keep the jab pumping and to go to the body to basically slow Baumgardner's well-reflexed and fast style, where she's not throwing a ton of volume, but she is kind of dictating the terms of the exchange. And for Baumgardner, if she's not in the pocket throwing punches or coming in with the explosions, like a Sean Porter momentary style, where you come in with a couple punches, even though Porter will stay in the pocket, Baumgardner would throw a couple shots and then get out of the pocket. Now, when Baumgardner comes out of the pocket, she's got to be way outside of range, or else Mikaela Mayer will find that opportunity between Baumgardner's ambushes to basically throw the jab or the 1-2 or to dig to the body to basically start throwing punches when Baumgardner's trying to either buy time or reassert range. I think Mikaela Mayer is going to be more consistent, you know, in 30-second pockets. So like minute after minute. And keep in mind, these are just 2-minute rounds, so we don't get that grueling third round in these instances. I think it's going to come down to Mikaela Mayer simply throwing more punches and more combinations. And I feel like she's going to win the majority of the late rounds here. Because Mikaela Mayer is not like Edith Matthysse. That was Baumgardner's last opponent. She fought the Argentinian and won a 10-round unanimous decision. But that was, again, Baumgardner totally dictating the terms of the exchange. She basically had Matthysse a little bit spooked by her feints and by her explosive, you know, punching speed and power, to where, you know, Matthysse would basically be waiting for Baumgardner to boom, boom, ambush her with something fast. And so Matthysse wasn't really pressing the issue. Mikaela Mayer, again, she's a lot more determined to win the minute. to win the second minute, basically to win the round, where she's not going to just take incoming fire and not throw something back. But I will say, when Hamadouche brought the fight to Mayer and Mayer agreed to fight in the trenches, she got hit a lot. Mikaela Mayer was getting hit by several left hooks, and you just can't afford to get hit like that with somebody with the power of Alycia Baumgardner. So Mikaela Mayer at this point has shown very good resilience, and she's shown a good chin. But again, I don't care who you are, you can't just take clean shots from Alycia Baumgardner over time. But again, I think that Baumgardner, I think she will have her moments. I think she's going to hit Mikaela Mayer with some very exciting punches. And I think it's going to, elicit a reaction, because her style is that of a very explosive, it's just very demonstrative, where when you land, you tend to land cleanly. So I think that it's going to draw a reaction. But again, I think Mikaela Mayer is going to be simply throwing more volume, just kind of letting the combinations go. And I think that she's really going to go to Baumgardner's body, and she's going to punch between Baumgardner's punches. So unless Baumgardner catches Mikaela Mayer with something very flashy and nice that totally rocks her and basically redefines the expectation that the judges have, because you kind of have to steal that. If the judges think that Mikaela Mayer is going to be more of the sweet science, the consistent boxer puncher here, then I think the judges are going to kind of lend their scorecards to that expectation. Baumgardner's got to do something to snatch that expectation away and redefine the expectation. You could do that, one, by hurting Mikaela Mayer, obviously, if you rock her or drop her. But the other way you could do that is if you are able to stay out of range and make Mikaela Mayer pay when she starts coming in with her, we'll call it a patient hunter style. If you could basically, boom, just kind of hit her with a couple quick shots and get back into moving and keep on making the slightly slower Mikaela Mayer keep on stalking you and looking like, like Margarito in the first few rounds against Miguel Cotto. Now, things obviously changed later on in the fight, but I mean that if Baumgardner is able to move and then stick and move without getting countered super cleanly, or basically winning the exchanges, and keep it a lower volume fight where you get Mikaela Mayer to hesitate on coming in, then Baumgardner can redefine the expectation and win most of the rounds. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that Mikaela Mayer will be able to kind of, assert herself, so to speak, and throw the higher volume without getting stopped. And so Baumgardner might even score a knockdown here. I don't think she will. I think she's going to rock Mikaela Mayer a bit at some point in the first half of the fight. But I think that Mikaela Mayer is probably going to win like 3 or 4 of the final 5 rounds. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I think Mikaela Mayer is going to pull out like a 6 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 3 type of scorecard. But yeah, let me know what you think of Mikaela Mayer versus Alycia Baumgardner. Again, Baumgardner has shown very good improvement in her recent fights. I just don't think she has totally closed the skill gap. And I think that the experience, the coaching, and the punch volume, along with the height and range, is going to win the day for Mikaela Mayer. But please, let me know what you think about this fight in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. And by the way, again, I love that this fight is happening. I love that it's happening on the undercard of Shields versus Savannah Marshall. I hope that fight, lives up to the expectations and to the hype, because the better that this card does, the better it is for women's boxing as a whole, just like Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Woog. Thanks again for tuning in.